G'day folks, ZiggyD here with a gearing progression guide for Last Epoch. There's so many deterministic farming and crafting methods in this game to get the gear that you want for your build, but this is one of the more fun and powerful ones right now in my opinion. Nemesis upgrading. I love these guys. Some of you likely do too. They're there in the campaign giving you great, interesting, powerful items as you're leveling. Cool stuff, upgrading them randomly. It's good stuff. They get even better in the endgame, let me tell you. So, in the endgame, the Nemesis are the answer to kind of the big question of how do I get from basic uniques into good upgraded legendaries that I actually want? Often you'll get that chase item that you want after a little bit of effort, but it could really be a long time before you get one with legendary potential. Nemesis give you another way to deterministically either get some random legendary modifiers on a unique of your choosing, which is a perfect stopgap until you can later craft the perfect legendary the traditional way, but they also give you a chance of actually getting that legendary potential too. This is all thanks to the Nemesis Egg system, and how appropriate that it is basically Easter right now. They normally appear with mixed random loot, but they can sometimes spawn with one of these eggs that you can replace with a basic unique of your choosing, even pulling one right from your stash. Don't try and portal out. I've had people say they've done that. That will obviously lose you the encounter. Make sure you use that stash feature there. So Nemesis spawn randomly in the campaign and echoes at endgame, and you can boost their spawn rate a little bit in the top right of the Weaver tree. But the best way to farm Nemesis is by far the Woven Echo Conquered Tower. This echo has many Nemesis encounters on each floor of a tower climb, just back-to-back fights with no other enemies except a special Nemesis boss at the end. It's really fast and fun and just like 6+ Nemesis encounters each time. The Woven Echo Conquered Tower is fairly common too, and it can be purchased from Mask, the faction vendor in Haven of Silk, for 2,000 Amber. I think it becomes available somewhere around rank 4 to 5-ish. I'm rank 6 now, and I already have had it for quite some time. You get Amber by killing possessed and woven faction enemies, of course, and we could probably do an Amber guide in the future. But once you have even just one of these maps, you can and should allocate the Woven and Loomed Riches nodes on the Weaver tree. Socket the Conquered Tower in these slots, and Conquered Towers will generate on your Echo Web for free as you're exploring around. On top of that, when you complete a cemetery map, you can place your actual Conquered Tower maps on the Echo Web to chain farm. So doing this in endgame has a very high chance of giving you an egg for each new Nemesis you encounter, but the key really is that you want to challenge any that don't have an egg or something else that you really want. Resist empowering just irrelevant junk, even though it's fun, I know. It's much better if you recycle them. Challenge to kill them, and then that very next Nemesis encounter is a completely fresh one and has another chance at giving you that egg. You get like 6 chances this way at an egg each tower, so it ends up being pretty common to get 1 or even more eggs just each run. So today, while making this video over the course of about 20 minutes, I got a perfect pair of Last Steps of the Living from Formosus, and no LP, right? So ultimately, that's kind of tragic normally, kind of junk, because long term you're going to want some legendary potential to upgrade these. And even perfect rolls is like, oof, you know, it's almost painful. Well, we have the solution for that now, thankfully. I took them into a Conquered Tower, and the literal first Nemesis had an egg. I empowered. The next encounter revealed that they had been granted movement speed. Excellent. I empowered them again, and the movement speed, of course, got larger. You could do that or add other affixes at this point. You know, maybe it would have landed life or something. Sometimes you'll get something completely irrelevant or even downright bad. But not this time. Amazing. Look at these. Oh, aren't they beautiful? Who knows how long I would have farmed Formosus to get a pair of 1LP boots to craft in Temporal Sanctum? Well, I mean, I guess the odds are available on Last Epoch tools, but you know, it could have taken quite a while. So I actually really get excited for non-LP unique drops now because I get to bring them into one of these towers and, you know, I get that random upgrade excitement from them. And don't forget that you can get LP in here too. It's rarer, but you can get any amount from 1 to 4 legendary potential on your egged item if you're insanely lucky. So you can juice these Nemesis encounters a little bit more too, by the way, to extract a bit more value from this. The top right node, Forsaken Weaponry, causes the Nemesis to drop Exalted Weapons each time you empower them. They're the special Harbinger upgrade weapon bases too, which improve when you kill a Harbinger, with some of them being quite powerful, and just having such a consistent way of dropping Exalted Weapons means that you can probably, if any of these bases are relevant to you, quickly find yourself a very nice Exalt. If nothing else, these are good legendary food for upgrading your legendary potential weapons. One more tip, to help you get a ton more uniques to do this method with, maybe you're starved for the bases in the first place, use the Commoners, Sealed, and Echoing Riches slots on the tree. These are amazing. They give chances when you complete echoes, open stashes, or kill enemies, they each have their own different condition, to drop that unique that's socketed in there, and it's super effective. And sometimes you just get like several of them at once. Like I had 2 Exsanguinous drop at the same time this way yesterday, which is pretty rare, Exsanguinous. And then I got 3 Cleavers today. They definitely seem to be ignoring drop rate restrictions and chances on these rare items, like Exsanguinous, for example. Just keep in mind that this does only work for global drop uniques, not the ones that have to drop from like a specific boss, for example. So I don't believe I could use Last Steps of the Living from Formosus here. Those have to drop from the actual boss. And by the way, these socketable slots, they don't consume the item, they just kind of take a picture of it. So you can even use the item you're wearing and just keep wearing it. And while I'm on the topic, let me just quickly show you how to find out where your unique drops from and if it is a global drop or if it's a specific boss drop, because maybe you picked it up somewhere and you don't know where it really came from. You go to lastepochtools.com, it's a fantastic website. You can go to resources, then items. On this page on the left, you can select the different item categories, or if you know the name of your unique, you can instead just type it in the search bar. Or you can go to the actual unique list of items as well, if you just want to have a look through all the different options. Now, if you take a look at any unique here, down the bottom is the relevant drop information. This has info on how common items are, how much potential they have to drop with legendary potential in different amounts, and then where they're obtained from. So you're looking from the obtained from, it'll say something like random drop common, for example. For Artel's Legacy, that means it's a global drop that can drop anywhere. It'll also tell you the chance of getting it with a Rune of Ascendance too, which is pretty handy if you're trying to really focus in on one of these items. The last one there where it says something like Black Sun Timeline, for example, and it's specifying a echo reward, that doesn't mean that only is where it drops. It's a suggested farming method, effectively, for focus farming these. So that's another way of going about that. That means if you go to that timeline in Empowered Echoes, you can find those specific echo rewards that drop unique set or helms, which, you know, just mean you're a bit more likely to actually get this helmet. It's the same as using a Rune of Ascendance, right? Since it's just picking one unique from helmets. But of course, if you look at something like Last Steps of the Living, that's a boss drop, we know. So it says obtained from Formosus the Undying, and it gives the percentage chance of getting it from that boss. And if there's any relevant restrictions on, you know, it has to be a certain corruption or something. So these Nemesis are super fun. They're like a perfect blend of RNG gambles, which are good with the random upgrades that they give you, but then also that deterministic crafting that is needed there to kind of counteract that. Since you can pick which base that you want to put in the egg, and because you can focus farm these Nemesis so very effectively. If I'm being quite honest, they're probably too powerful overall as a method for gear acquisition. Like, I've barely stepped foot in Temporal Sanctum this run, which is not necessarily a super bad thing. That's still there as like a high-end crafting option for when you get that 4LP drop eventually. But it does feel maybe a little too powerful, or perhaps that's just my loot-starved PoE brain talking. Either way, getting off topic, I hope this is helpful. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.